My name is Lara Kudaisi. I help people heal from emotional pain, trauma, childhood dysfunctions for a happily ever after. My story in a nutshell is that I healed from having a child at 19, 14 heartbreaks, 15 abortions, and a divorce. I have created a program titled How They Heal. Welcome to How They Heal. On this show, we bring people who've been through pain, emotional trauma, dysfunctions, and so many other cycles that they've been through and struggled with. And I am your host, Lara Kudaisi. Welcome back to How They Healed. Today we're talking about physical illness. We're talking about limbs, we're talking about legs, we're talking about hands, we're talking about mobility, movement, and everything that surrounds it. And I have brought a guest, somebody who's been through all of these things and has refused to stay down, which is why she has come today to share her journey of healing. Guys, welcome with me, Faith Okpe. Hi, Faith.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you because you came from very far. You actually traveled to come to this location today. Thank you for doing us the honor.
Thank you for having me.
So earlier on we were talking about, your illness or what you were diagnosed when you were younger and all of that. But before I quickly go to that, let me just ask you, who is Faith Okpe?
Okay. I am a Nigerian.
Okay.
From Kogi State. I am a survivor. I'm a footwear designer.
Okay.
And I'm also one that is all out for women, pushing them to see that however you've been beaten by life, you can rise. So,
wow.
Summary.
That's good. So you're here today to talk about how you've healed, from your limb issues. What's the name? Just tell us. I remember when you were talking earlier before we came on set, you were telling me all about it. And I found it very, very oh my God, this girl is so brave. So how did it start?
Okay, I was one from what my dad told me.
1 year old?
Yes, a 1-year-old child. And one morning I woke up and I just wouldn't put my left foot on the ground. Every attempt to make me stand proper was just led me to crying, and they kept wondering what was going on. After a while, they noticed that the left leg was actually swelling from the thigh to the knee. And it was strange. I started having fever, and several symptoms came up, and they took me to a nearby clinic, and I was diagnosed of acute osteomyelitis.
Wow.
Osteomyelitis is a bone marrow infection. It's a very, I'll call it a callous disease. It's wicked because it stays in a way that it's hidden. You really can't tell that it's there. It will be causing damages. You won't see it. You just be seeing other symptoms of fever, symptoms of other ailments. So even if you're taken to the hospital, sometimes they will not even detect it on time. Wow. That this is what is going on with you. So that's it. That was what happened. Although it was acute, at some point it degenerated to chronic. And then
How did all of that happen? From acute to chronic?
Okay, it happened such that when it was diagnosed at age 1, my parents were referred to National Orthopedic Hospital in Enugu, and they were told that once they get there, since it's still acute, at the acute stage you can handle it, but if it has become chronic, there's almost nothing you can do about it again. They're like, she's a child, so we'll get there, they'll get this thing fixed, and they're supposed to go. But they couldn't afford money for the surgery. They couldn't pay for the surgical bill then. And they said they did all they could. They wanted to even take loan, but nobody was willing to help, including family members. It was pathetic. And after a while, was it subsided, or it was as though it left? And it has that character. It can just as if there's nothing, we are just okay.
So it can come and go.
Just, as if we are okay, but then it didn't go anywhere. It's actually there.
Okay.
So at age 2, it resurfaced. I was having pains again and all. But this time that it resurfaced, because it never left actually, it became more terrible. And as a 2-year-old, my knee became locked. But it's usually around the joints. Anywhere there's joints in the body, it can be there. It can be on your toe, anywhere. But mine affected my knee joint. And it locked my knee and made my leg rigid, like really stiff. It doesn't flex because of that lock. And still, even when it happened like that, they still couldn't take care of it. They didn't handle it. It was not given proper attention, and it was costing a lot for me. I was having pains, so I was always, people that knew me growing up used to say I was always a crying child because of the pains.
So that was
imagine a 2-year-old limping, you're having swollen leg with pus coming out, blood. It was a lot. It kept me in and out of school because maybe if I have an issue like on Saturday, it could linger maybe till Friday. I can't go anywhere because I'm not feeling fine. You know, it was like that. So I think as I grew older, that I wasn't properly taken care of.
Okay.
That was how it degenerated. Although they tried, it's not like they didn't try. I can still remember that while I was still young, at age 9, we were living in Kaduna State, and my mom and dad took me to Abu Zaria Teaching Hospital. And I remember that we went there several times. If you go to the hospital, you see crowd. So you can stay on the queue till the hospital, they are closing from work and not see the doctor.
See the doctor.
Yeah, so we went several times, and each time I went, I was out of school. It was working days. I couldn't go to school. So my mom and dad were taking turns, take me there. You go, you not see a doctor, you come back, you go, you not see a doctor. After a long time, I was a child, so I don't know if it was 2 months period, you know, but after a long time, I went with my mom one day and we were able to see a doctor. By the time we saw the doctor, he asked my history, he asked me to walk around, he touched the leg, asked of different things. And then he said, leave this girl alone. Don't do any surgery. She's working. If you do anything, she may never be able to work again. That was how my parents left. So they said, it's better she's even limping than she's not even working at all. So let's just leave her like that. And they left me like that. I was battling with issues, pains, self-esteem issues. You know, people were jeering at me. Several
What sort of people were jeering at you, though?
Yes, several.
Like, was it in school?
In school. Okay. In school, even in the neighborhood. Then sometimes even nobody tells you anything by your own self. They just say way you feel because you can't do just anything. Even if I try to play and jump around like every other person at night, I'll have to deal with sleepless nights because of severe pains. And so my self-esteem was being affected. But being a child, I didn't know. It started showing as a teenager, because that's the point you now begin to know that this is how you're supposed to be, this is what you're supposed to wear and all. So it was when I became a teenager that I started feeling like there's something wrong with your mind, there's something wrong with the way you perceive yourself. I remember that I used to feel very uncomfortable to walk past people because something in my mind told me that everybody was looking at me. So I had that issue. I could be going somewhere and I would take a very long route to get where I'm going to, because something just tells me that that place I'm going to, there are not too much people around there. So nobody really
trying to avoid people so that you won't be seen.
Yes, don't see me. Don't ask me any question, because there was this frequent question that kept coming. I'll just pass. Hey, fine girl, what happened to your leg? And some of them come very insensitive. And then it's not something that I had an accident. So I can't just tell you I had an accident. If I tell you I had an accident, the case closes there. But this one, I have to tell you stories. I don't know it from anywhere. How do I start telling you my life story? So some of those questions were coming. You'll be walking sometimes, you're like, did your slippers cut? Sorry, you know, very insensitive. You know, I could even remember when I was on campus, we'll be in fellowship, worshiping. Sometimes you're lost, pouring your love on Christ, you know, just lost in worship. And one very insensitive Christian brother will just walk up to you and like, Faith, do you know you're the one holding yourself? What do you mean by that? If you had some faith, you would have been healed by now.
What?
Yeah, and
are you kidding me?
And sometimes I'll be like, What?
So how would you feel when, at least when somebody told you that? How did that make you
I
feel?
had times when I was completely disconnected. You're feeling like, what else is faith? I'm loving the Lord irrespective. I'm serving the Lord irrespective. What exactly is faith? Do you understand? So you'll be feeling like you're actually far from God. But at some point, I discovered something. There was a day I was reading the Bible. You know this story of when Jesus was in a room. These guys had their friends ill. They couldn't access him because everywhere was filled. They opened the roof, brought him down.
Yeah.
He said he has not seen this kind of faith.
Yeah.
It was not the faith of
that person.
It was the faith of his friends.
Yes.
So I said, okay, I can actually believe God for somebody. So what I started doing was, if you come tell me that, I'll tell you, you that have faith, why not help me with your faith?
Wow.
Trust the Lord for me.
Perfect answer.
You know, and I noticed that all the guilt, all the bad feelings I was having, I was pushing it back to them. Once you tell me, I give it to you, boom. And it really helped me. So, I started to learn to ignore people and just be myself. I started to tell myself, you are God's daughter. You were made in the image of the Lord. You're limping, you're not limping. You're still God's child.
Wow.
And he loves you.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So, but at what age did you finally, did you have another surgery? Did you have any surgery at any point in time, or you just let it go like that doctor said at age 9 that they should let you be?
Yeah. At 16, I had another outbreak. Like I started feeling severe pains again, and at this point my mom had died. She died when I was 11. So it was just me and my dad. My dad said, okay, I think we should go back to Enugu, National Tuberculosis Hospital Enugu, where they were told I should go in the first place. So we got there. The doctor asked my history. We narrated everything. When we told him about the issue with the hospital in Zaria, he literally screamed, like, are you serious? Was that doctor a student doctor? You were a child, you were 9, your bones were still forming, you were still growing. That's the proper time to do anything for you. So you should have just come at that time, would have fixed it. Now you are 16, you're a grown girl. Your bones have formed this. And then over the years that the kneecap locked, like it locked between the upper limb and lower limb, the bones they locked. So over the years, as I kept moving, the friction, it was wearing off the kneecap.
Oh, wow.
Do you get it? It was locked in between the two bones. That was what the x-ray showed. You see the two bones like ran out of place, and then the kneecap was just in between. So the friction of moving around those
was causing it to become worse.
Yes. So probably if you were at that time, to have still been renewed, maybe they have shifted it, just done something to correct. When they saw that, like, your kneecap is remaining just very little. You should have come. But what they said, they were going to try. And the first surgery, I did 2 surgeries there in Enugu. The first surgery they did at 16 was a minor surgery where they called it manipulation. They tried to forcefully bend it. It's as rigid as this plate, so they were trying to like forcefully bend it, and it didn't work. They still backed it up with physiotherapy. Very painful sessions. I can't describe it. Very, very painful sessions. And after the whole routine of physiotherapy, the report was still reading 0% flexibility.
Wow. Faith. I need to stop you there now. Wow. I can imagine, as a 16-year-old girl, having hope, having dream of walking again, of bending your kneecap, and then after all of that, they said, what? See, we need to go on a break so that when we come back, we'll continue with that story. Guys, please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Before we went on break, we were talking to Faith Okpe about, osteomyelitis and her leg, and the second surgery, or the first surgery rather, that she had at 16 that didn't work. So Faith, after that surgery did not work, you called it manipulation, and you said it came with series of physiotherapy that was very painful. How did you feel? How did you deal with that? What happened afterwards?
I felt bad, but amazingly, I had so much faith.
Just like your name.
Faith. Probably my parents were just led by God to give me
you that name.
I had so much faith before I went for that surgery, I was so excited. Like, I was just seeing pictures of, oh my God, I'm going to be just cool. I'm going to know what it means to really walk fine. I told my friends that I'm coming back super different. You know, I had hopes. I was really happy. I was really, really happy. Sincerely, that was how I felt. I was happy. But when I got that report, I felt bad.
So what class were you at this time?
I was either in SS2 or SS1. I can't really remember, but I was in secondary school, senior secondary school, when I went for that surgery. I was happy, really happy. You know, I wanted to become a beauty queen. When there was my room, I was feeling myself fine girl. So I was really happy, like, whoa, finally I'm going to be able to do, after all the pains, I know I'm going to be able to do all the catwalking and all, but in fact, I even still had hopes because they told me if it doesn't work, that we would still do another surgery. So I felt, okay, if it doesn't work, the next one. So by the following year, we went for the second one, where after the doctor looked at my x-ray, the physiotherapy reports, scans and all, he just told me, see, sincerely, there's nothing else we can do.
That's after the second surgery?
No, after, when we came back for the second one,
surgery, okay.
Like, there's nothing else we can do from these reports we are seeing, and that the best we can do is maybe like an overhauling of the bone, more like trying to clean it up and clean off the infection. But for your knee, you just have to keep limping. We just have to we'll clean it up so that you don't have another, maybe you are getting to fight with pains and you know that reoccurrence of the hair.
You know,
so
another
like
episode.
they're going to like wash off the infection. That's the layman way I can put it. But that we can't walk on your knee because you're a grown-up girl already. I remember that day I cried on the streets of Enugu. I was on the highway. I wept so, because it was like my world was crumbling before me. It was like I would not just amount to anything in the game, because you even have people looking down on you, people telling you, you know, there's just an atmosphere.
But have you had people look down on you, like, you know that they're looking down on you, or they told you?
Several of them. I remember one experience in primary school. Some classmates were coming from school in the evening, and they pushed me into a very deep, dirty gutter. Very deliberately, a boy and a girl, I think they were siblings, deliberately, because they knew I would not be able to fight back. At first, I thought it was a mistake, because adults came into the scene and brought me out of the gutter. I was smelling and all. But when I knew it wasn't a mistake, was immediately those people left, those older people left. You know, they were beginning to do, you know, that kind. You just knew that they knew what they were doing. I cried. I felt very bad. That's many of those things. Sometimes you even see other children trying to look for your trouble. You know, they'll do it, they will run. You won't be able to chase them. You know, they will run. It was crazy. Even when I got to the university, I had such experiences. You see, you know, maybe I had one where my friend told me to my face that she feels quite ashamed to be identified. I don't know.
Did she actually say that?
She said it.
That she was feeling ashamed to be identified.
Like each time I'm in the faculty, she just doesn't want people to know that there's any connect between us. But I'll see her in the faculty, I'll still run to her and come and greet her. People will not be seeing us together.
So when she said that, what did you do? How did that make you feel? What were your reactions?
I was shocked, I was cold. I was shocked, I was cold, because at the same time, I had people who were really very proud of me. I had people who drew inspiration from me. So I was doing a lot for myself. You know, but I was cold. And being that, coming from my friend, I didn't expect that. It felt really bad. It felt really bad.
How did that affect relationships with men?
Amazingly, I've had suitors. I've had admirers. Maybe it comes from the spirit within or something. I've had guys flock around. Growing up, of course, I've even had those that just come to, some people just feel, once they just see you like this, they just feel maybe you are feeling inferior. You are looking for who to get validation from. But I thank God, maybe it was the presence of the Holy Spirit in me. I didn't have that issue of I'm looking for love from a guy. That's one thing I didn't battle with. I was not looking for him. But you see people, and since I was not battling with that, I could recognize men that were coming with that mindset. So I really didn't fall for them. I can remember in SS1, I grew up attending teenage ministry, so I had this mindset of sexual purity. You don't play around, don't do this. And so all the boys that were coming then, we knew boyfriend, girlfriend was a red flag, we're not doing. So one guy who was not really even going to school, probably a secondary school dropout, came and was asking me out that he works with the Skybank. I should date him. It was just, the whole talk was just very nasty, like he was trying to help me. I remember what I asked him. I say, both the security at Skybank and the manager work at Skybank. Please, what do you do at Skybank? I felt very offended, but immediately he lashed out on me that you safe, I they even help safe, you safe, you even have mouth to reject somebody. But I don't know. I also laughed at him and walked away because I already saw that I'd done something to him already.
So what did you study in school, university?
I read philosophy and religious studies.
Okay.
Yes.
And how was life through, because of course, university comes with its rigors, the work, all of that. So did your leg or your movement, ability to move, did it affect, your reading skills, coping skills in school and all of that?
It didn't. It didn't. Because amazingly, I was very strong. I grew up very strong. Because my mom died when I was 11, and I'm the first child. So I carried responsibility very fast. I'll wake up 4 a.m. and I'm preparing food that my younger ones will take to school and what they will eat when they come back. My dad got married like 3 years after, but my stepmom too is a very hardworking person. So she was in Lagos doing her job. We were in Sokoto State with her dad. So the being married didn't really change my routine. I was still doing a lot, except when she comes home
around
during holidays. So I think those things toughened me. So I could cook, I could carry things, I could wash, many things that people my age I could travel by myself because my younger ones were literally my kids. When I got to campus, it was quite. People even used to ask me, like, how do you do this? I go to my classes, I go to all my lectures. When I needed to trek, I trekked. I go to my campus fellowship. I didn't have issues with this kind. Somebody should come and carry me, pet me, and I didn't have all those issues.
So what do we say now? Is it that you're healed, like you don't have that thing anymore? The infections are totally gone? Or where are you right now?
Okay, where I am right now is I'm no longer having issues with, pains coming up and going and all of those sick moments. I'm no longer having them, but I still limp because my kneecap remains locked. My knee remains locked, so I still limp. Yeah.
Wow, thankfully, I'm so excited that you're where you are right now. So when it comes to men, relationships, marriage, because right now, I don't know, are you single or you're married now?
I'm engaged.
To be married. Hey, guys, did you hear that? Faith is engaged. So, guys, she's off the market. Wow, that's so beautiful. When are you getting married?
Sometime this year.
I hope you give us invitation so that we'll come there, and that is such an inspiration to see, a young girl like you having gone through all of this painful period and all of that, coming out to share your story. So I want to ask you, why did you decide to step out and share your story?
In between 2007 and 2018, I had a very depressing experience that I was looking for stories online to just help me, just where I can just see one strand of hope and hold on to. I wanted stories of people who had experienced osteomyelitis, who had gone through this. I was looking for stories everywhere. And I really couldn't see contents of people who had gone through this and battled with it. And I told myself, I said, see, you're coming out of this and you're going to go to the ends of the earth. You will speak hope to people. You will not keep quiet. I told myself that I was not going to stay in my shell and mourn what has happened. I told myself I will break out because of the many other people who need to hear me to keep moving. So I made up my mind that my story is going to be online. I'm going to be on stages. I'm going to talk to people. If I meet a young girl that needs a shoulder, I'll give her a shoulder. Instead of being the type that were mocking me, I'll clean your tears. So that's why.
Oh wow, Faith, like you're so physically you're very beautiful. I must tell you, you're very, very beautiful. And in my own eyes, I'm telling you, you're a beauty queen. You know, so and to now hear you talk this way and see that your heart is also as beautiful as your physical looks is amazing. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for stepping out, because this is what we need in our society. A lot of, I remember when I was going through my own episodes, just like you, I was looking for women, you know, who had been through a divorce, heartbreaks, and now they're doing well, and I couldn't find anybody online. And, or I couldn't find anybody in Nigeria who could do it. I saw Yanla Van Sant, I saw, you know, Real Talk Kim, Sarah Jakes Roberts, but there was no Nigerian person. And so that's why I also, like you, decided to step out, to be the first Nigerian woman who put out a story, so that another woman, you know, in future, or even right now, who needs help to heal and overcome what I went through, can also have hope. So I relate to you in that regard, and as in, I feel like hugging you because this is so emotional and deep for me. Because when people say, why are you sharing your story? Why are you sharing your story? They don't know why until they hear the motive behind that. So thank you so much. God bless you. I pray that, you know, God help your home. God builds your home. God gives you more money to be able to do this, because it requires a whole lot of money. So thank you so much, Faith, for coming to share with us. So guys, you've heard it all. Look at what Faith went through. Look at all the pains. Look at all the self-esteem issues, the depression that, you know, went with all that she had to go through without any fault of her own. Look at her now. She's trying to encourage you, trying to give you hope, trying to let you know that you can heal, you can have it better, no matter what you've been through. And like I always say before I leave, guys, it is never too late to live happily ever after. Bye for now.